today. Real quick, guys. What's your name? Why are you here?
All right, gentlemen, how's everyone doing?
Yeah.
I'm Sean, and I hope everyone's having a great evening thus far. Are any of you like me and know that you could, in fact, take your life to another level, but you haven't quite done it? You're not quite doing it. Maybe you are doing it, but you know you could do more. And does that eat at you? Does that eat at you knowing that you could be more? How's that feel? Knowing that you could be more. And you're not doing all that you can. You're scrolling. Doesn't feel nice. When you think about your life, you know, it's just your life, right? It's just your life. It's just your life. It's going to pass by regardless. It is passing by. And the time is ticking. And what will you make of your life? Truly, I want to encourage all of you to reflect and think about what it is that you want to make of this life. Will you be proud of yourself? Have a great evening, brother. Will you be proud of yourself as the days move on? And is it time for you, as it is for me, is it time to make some changes, some adjustments, some new habits that could take you to a place that you haven't been thus far? What kind of standard are you going to hold yourself to? You know, for you, brother, I encourage you to do 30 days and upload, regardless of what the video looks like. Make the video and upload it. Because I made videos. I've actually started 3-4 YouTube channels myself. And I would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. I would rarely upload them, though. And so I had many channels that just kind of came up. And to tell you all a little bit about myself, I let go of everything material. I was married to a beautiful Colombian girl, just absolutely perfect. And I genuinely loved her. Spiritually, though, I was called to let that relationship go. Not only that, but also all material possession. I just let it all go. I was working at the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco. I had a history in sales prior to that as well, and had my own businesses. But I love Maria Isabel Orozco Acosta, Lawrence. Yeah. So I let all that go, and I began hitchhiking from San Francisco. And now it's been 16 years that I've been traveling the world. I now have 3 children, got a beautiful Korean wife. 안녕하세요. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
잘 지내세요. Yeah. So, you know, life is beautiful. And it doesn't have to be the cookie cutter 9 to 5. You don't have to be stuck where you're at. You really do not have to be stuck where you are. You can, if you want, you can do like me and you could drop all material possession and just surrender and give your life to God and just say, show me something, show me something, show me something. Woo! When I let go of all material and I just truly surrendered, I will say that I did actually start to experience synchronicity. I experienced a synchronicity, what I call like magic of the universe. I experienced one here just the other night. My name is Sean Michael Lawrence, and that's just a name, you know. We're way more than our names or our job titles, right? We're so much more than any, you know, self-imposed label. But, you know, for myself, I let everything go, and I began to travel. I experienced magic. God talked to me through different signs. I experienced one here. Let me share with you. I was standing here last night, and Matt Lawrence came to introduce himself to me. He had soy champon or something like this on his shirt. And I know that that's a Thai name, and he came to introduce himself, Matt. And then there was another gentleman that came up and introduced himself. And he introduced himself to me as Matt. And I was like, that's great. He's also Matt. And he goes, yeah, I'm Matt Lawrence. And I go, that's cool. Y'all are both Matt. And then my last name is Lawrence. So picture this. You have Matt Lawrence standing here. And then you have Sean Lawrence standing here. And then you have Matt that comes and meets Matt. And then this gentleman's first name matches with this gentleman, Matt and Matt. And then Matt Lawrence, and my last name's Lawrence. So he's trying to sell a house, and I'm trying to buy a house. I may end up actually buying his house. It's through owner financing. There's a small potentiality, but there was real magic in that three coming together. And when we surrender, get out of our own way, and open ourselves to the universe, we stand the potentiality to actually experience these synchronicities, these magical happenings. They are real potentiality for all of us, I believe. I truly do believe. And I've experienced a lot of that. And I will just say for myself that when I'm living life in such a way that my vibrations are vibrating in a beautiful way and I'm aligned, I'm centered, that I oftentimes will be blessed with these synchronicities. And I'll say that any amount of money in the world, for me, any watch, you see I don't wear a watch because I don't care about them. And the material, it really doesn't mean anything. You could, I've also been with hundreds of women, thousands of women even, and that's not really fulfilling. You could have everything materially, but if you don't have that alignment and that magic of synchronicity, that connection to something greater, then I don't believe any of us are living life to the highest potentiality. Now, that's not all in our control, or maybe it is. It's just in how we align. I don't know, but I know it's a bit far out, and I know maybe all of you have not experienced this degree of synchronicity or whatnot, but for me, it's a really important word. It's a really important idea, because for me, I believe it's God winking at me and saying, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. And that synchronicity might speak directly to you, might speak to you in a way that only you might understand the magic in that. You could tell other people, they might not quite get it. But for you, you know something else is going on. And that's how our universe operates. But in school, we're taught that life operates by chance and probability. That's the hard science, right? And I know for a fact that's a fucking lie. Synchronicity shows me that, because the synchronicities I've experienced are far beyond any probability. And I know that. So life is, we're in some kind of matrix, the 9 to 5 path that's jotted out for us. That is really indeed the matrix. And we get stuck in these various contracts, whether it's a contract for an apartment, for your cell phone bill, your insurance, your car payment, and you just get gridlocked in. Oh, you got to show up to court next month because you got that speeding ticket. And you get gridlocked into this society where you lose your freedom, your autonomy, your sovereignty, who you really are. You lose it. Or you're slowly volunteering yourself to your own slavery, right? And we all have experienced this to some degree. We're all tied in. And then we live in this money matrix world where we do need to eat. We do need to survive, right? So it's tricky. But having one's autonomy is absolutely crucial. For me, it's a mixed bag, because I now take on the responsibility to take care of 3 children. I've got a wife, and I do, I'm invested in the matrix. I'm invested in business. But the richest time in my life, by far, hands down, was those first 3 to 6 months I was traveling, that first year that I was traveling, where I had very, very little, had a backpack, and I just kept giving things away, and I realized the less I had, like literally everything that I had, I thought I had it, but it had me. So all our material possessions, in my humble opinion, they have us. We don't really have them. And this lightness of being, of just being able to be oneself in the world, for me, that's what richness is, but it's a lightness. You know, you look at homeless people, right? Some of them, there's a good number here in Austin now, and you all notice the vibration of the person that you interact with, right? Some of them, as we were just saying, and we all said, some of them are really in hell, and you can obviously see that. Not all of them, though. Occasionally, you might find one that's actually in heaven. They're just blissed out. They're not high on any substance. You might rarely see them. Maybe you've seen one or two in your life. They might not even appear to be homeless per se, but those that are free of everything, everything is given to them when their vibration is aligned. That's just the law of the universe. In my humble opinion, again, and I do believe in hard work, and I do believe in being diligent, and I do absolutely believe in dedication. I do. So there's two sides of the coin. But I guess this is a little bit more of an esoteric talk. How's everybody feeling, though? I'm sorry to not engage you guys so much. How's everybody feeling?
Good stuff. I'm going to pause you real quick.
1,000 out of 10? Let me hear 1,000 out of 10.
1,000 out of 10.
1,000 out of 10.
1,000 out of 10.
You guys can tell that he actually believes what he says. And you can tell that he's been doing this for a while. How long?
First time public speaker.
Public speaker? I know, but like in terms of creating content.
Yeah, so I went hard. I started going hard with the YouTube content about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, just a year ago. Yeah.
But my channel didn't even start to get any traction. This is why I say do the 30 days straight. Upload every day regardless of how you feel the video went, because it's that habit of actually creating and actually uploading. Only recently I caught on to the thumbnail game and the catchy title, and I actually have had one video that looks like it's actually kind of going viral now.
Yeah, and that'll start happening over time as well, because what ends up happening is people will start watching your older videos that you post.
Yeah.
And you'll see videos that you created a long time ago that didn't have any views start skyrocketing up just because you can't, like, what ends up happening is you build that momentum to where it becomes exponential.
Right.
And obviously the platform will change over time, but guess what though? Because you've learned those skill sets, it's easy just to keep creating. And you start building out connections, you build out relationships, you start making an impact on other people. So that's amazing.
Right.
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you.
I want to actually help you too.
Yeah.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say he's showing up as far as a leader?
8.
Yeah, that was very basic. Like, I actually didn't expect that. So, one of the things I would say is there is one thing that can help you just get a little bit over the top. A little bit over the top. Can anyone guess what it is? Anyone? It's just a little bit more. So, one thing that, like, and I get the sense that from everything you're hearing, or whatever you've been saying, it really touched a lot of people in the room. Did you guys kind of feel that what he was saying was coming from the heart?
Yeah.
How many of you also right now, you're starting to see what things you have, and you're starting to think about what actually owns you? Anyone start thinking about traveling and giving up some things? Anyone? Yeah. A few people. So you did a great job engaging them. You did a great job actually just being the leader in the room. But let me ask you this, because what I'm hearing from you too, and maybe you're aligned with even what me and Owen in our path is, are you someone who wants to create a movement around this?
I have giant aspirations.
Okay.
You know, I've actually been posting quite often. I've not gotten any contact with gentlemen in RSD really, but I came across some content recently that said, who is it that you really want to meet? You know, I thought, well, it's, you know, it's some kind of thought leader online, and Owen is, someone that I have a great amount of respect for, even in a spiritual sense. I'm like, he's catching on. And I'm actually really happy for Owen, seeing how he's living his life now. I'm like, yeah, he's getting, like, I mean, I think like he's living life in a beautiful way. I'm so happy for him. And I really wanted to meet him. And then I've been back in the States. I'm a bit jet lagged. You might notice I'm like zoning out. I'm tired. I'm meditating, but I'm kind of resting because I'm still jet lagged. And I've got, 3 babies around the clock, waking up at different times for the last 10 days we've been back in the country, and it's just now starting to even out. My brother and mother flew in today, and that was already scheduled, and I was like, man, I'm not going to get to see my mentor, Owen. I'm not going to actually get to have a conversation with him. But you asked me a beautiful question. Do I actually want to do something? Do I want to create a movement, or do I want to be part of a movement? And yes, in perhaps a number of ways. But I had an idea I was going to pitch to Owen, and I might just save it for now. It has nothing really to do with
And I'm
it has
actually
nothing to do with this self-development space, but it's more of a
and each of you are going to get a chance to talk with Owen because he's going to give you feedback too. And I think you're going to gain a lot from what he has to tell you as well because of where he's at. He's actually, do you guys sense that just from what he has been through, as well as the place he's coming from in terms of what he's telling you guys here in this room, that he is at a level in his communication that it's just little tweaks. Yeah. And this is like, honestly, you're good right now where you're at, like better than the majority of people that came up in the room. And what I would say though is the little tweaking. You probably have this discussion with Owen. Oh, we don't tell you guys this thing, but why do you think we do this?
Get better.
All right, yes, to get better. What?
This self-development in and of
We
itself.
won't tell you this because, for one thing you'll learn in life is like this is about us. Like make it about you. So if you're selling anything, if you're ever teaching anything, if you're ever giving anything out of value, you want to make it about the other people, and you want to give them what they want, not what they need. So secretly, you know what we're giving you in terms of what you want. Yes, you're seeing how to connect the dots, how to get better in relationships, how to get better at making more money, how to get better at building out a lifestyle, how to actually create the type of life that can give back to your family, give back to your community, leave an impact. But underneath, what are we really giving you that you actually need?
Access to Owen.
Not that.
No.
Then don't pedestalize Owen or me or anyone here, because none of us are different than you. We just may have a few skill sets.
I think you might have
Yes.
nailed it right there.
Yeah, so permission, that's one of them. But ultimately, we look at this as and I'm going to go a little deep on you guys, but you guys are the last men standing, last women, men in the room standing. So I'll go a little deep. We look at this as, right now, this generation, this society needs more leaders, needs more people to actually stand up. And you don't measure, how well a leader is based off of the number of followers they have. You measure it based off of how many other leaders they can create. And so we look at this as a game of saving. Like, if you ask Owen, he'll tell you this. We're trying to save your fucking soul. That's what we're trying to do. There's a lot of evil shit going on. We don't go, Owen will sometimes touch on it, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that it's against you. And we're trying to save your soul. But yes, we hang the carrot out in front of you and give you what you want. Inevitably, so you can realize that it's not just about filling the hole. You want to fill that hole inside, or you want to fill that hole elsewhere. But ultimately, it's coming down to, you see, okay, if I get that, well, it doesn't actually solve the happiness problem. It doesn't actually solve your problem with, figuring out what brings you, joy and fulfillment. But by giving you that, it'll actually get you much further. It'll get you closer to realizing that, okay, all this shit that I thought mattered actually didn't fucking matter. And some of you will realize that even without us, if you experience a near-death experience, or you have somebody that you really, really care about pass away close to you. Those are the moments where you actually will have a look into the veil and see that a lot of this stuff is just, it's like the Wizard of Oz. And the wizard, he's just behind a curtain.
I've got a synchronicity here. The Wizard of Oz is actually playing in my van right now. And you said nobody buys DVDs anymore, or maybe it was Owen. And I bought 3 DVDs yesterday. One of them was The Wizard of Oz, and it's playing in my van. That's funny you mentioned.
I played in The Wiz. I heard the Wizard, well, they came out with a movie around The Wizard of Oz or something. Like, it's called Wiz, or it's about the witch. Wicked, yeah. Yeah, the play's been in theaters for a while, so. Yeah, hey, that's cool. So, but I'm gonna touch on it. I want you to go deeper with Owen on this because he's been in the game doing this longer. So I'm gonna tell you the preface of what I've learned from him. But if you want to create a movement, if you want to create, just a bigger impact on not only just the people that see your content, but also take action and help create more leaders, then you have to, and I'll use this quote. I'm half joking, but I'm not. Everyone repeat after me. If you act a little crazy, they think you're weird. If you act batshit crazy, they make you their king. Now, what do I mean by that? It's not to be batshit crazy. What I mean by that is that if you want to have a bigger impact, you have to be more polarizing. For example, Owen will bring up many different books or religion, just philosophy, but one thing is like even the Bible. What was Jesus in the Bible? He was the biggest what?
Trolling.
Yeah, he was the biggest troll. To who?
The Pharisees.
The system, or the Pharisees. He was a troll. And you guys don't realize that, as a troll. So, but what is that? That's being polarizing. That means that you're going to actually make people upset. But that's the fastest way for you. I'm not saying this is what you should do, but if you really want to leave a big impact, then it means that, yes, you're going to have to, if you want to get more people to take a stand, step up, and start leading their own life and multiplying that to others. Like, if you want to look at it as like, the disciples, why did Jesus have disciples, for example, or why do people, what does a business have, executives that manage other people underneath them? It's because they understand that it allows it for it to spread more. And so, in the same analogy, you're really good at your communication. You're really good at communicating. I know this is your first time in front of this audience, but I'd say the little tweak is just more polarizing. And we will, something that, will take some time. I don't think we'll be able to get it here tonight. But polarizing, what I mean by that is, when you guys hear Owen speak, is he a little edgy?
Yeah. Yes.
Is he poking the box a little bit? Does he get you thinking?
Yes. Yeah.
Does he say things that most people would be afraid to say?
Oh yeah.
But is it true?
Yes.
Yes. And so that's how you get people to listen. That's how you get people to listen. You have to, you actually have to. It's funny. Everyone say, you gotta be a troll.
Gotta be a troll.
You gotta be a troll. So, and by that, just simplify it. It just means you gotta be polarized. You gotta actually, speak the truth, but also you have to understand that you can't hold back and not being afraid to upset some people. That comes with consequences. If you really want to go down this path, so.
Absolutely.
The people who have gone down this path, there's a reason why they don't own any material possessions too. It's because, you'll have those things taken anyways, because that's why. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, what was I gonna say there? Yeah, with the.
Well, if you don't remember, if you remember later, but mainly though, does that make sense to you?
It does. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So my most popular video was one that was somewhat trolling in the title, and also and there's truth to it. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry but not sorry. It's true, and it created a big debate in the comment section. And it was, I spent a lot of time in Asia. My YouTube channel is Lawrence of Asia, and I feel really more at home in Asia. However, I made a video called, I titled it, and this actually, the title actually came from my wife, who is Korean, but she's like, Seoul, the city of Seoul, is one of the biggest cities in the entire world. Seoul is soulless. Koreans are cold. Now, there's reasons why, they've been, basically, they've got, Russia and China at the north as well as North Korea, and then they also have Japan, and then now they're occupied by America. They're very, very guarded, and they're very cold people. But it was a very polarizing title. Seoul is soulless, Koreans are cold. Fuck this guy, It got a lot of clicks, it got a lot of engagement, and and in the comment section, that's the video that seems like it's actually going viral. So there's a lot of truth in that. And used to, I would just make polite titles, polite thumbnails, or just be myself. Now I've kind of got the thumbnail game, and then something that is a bit trolling in the title, and I'm like, that's the magic formula. And then if you have the content behind it, and so I'm at the place where I'm ready to push more.
And the funny part is, many of you guys in here too, you'll realize, who in here also, like, when you're out last night, this is a little bit more advanced, so we don't teach this until you act. Like, if you're on boot camp with us, you'll get to see this, and we'll teach it to you. But, how many of you, last night, you had an interaction, and you had that feeling like, oh, well, they're just treating me like a nice person, like I'm just being nice. Who experienced that? Well, guess what? A lot of, and I call it advanced, but this is just normal. How many of you have siblings? How many of you were on a teammate or a team before? You were a teammate on a team. Well, did you ever kind of like fuck with each other or troll each other? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that, you didn't really mean the stuff you said. It was kind of like teasing. But at the same time, sometimes did that help build up the team a little bit?
Yeah.
Or maybe did you still love your brother or your sister?
Yeah.
Even though maybe most guys, you probably got in fights, but still, it's your brother or sister, your blood, you probably still love them. So, yeah. But guess what? Also, when it comes to attraction or going out, a lot of it also is just, why do you think being polarizing? Or
it's abundance, right?
well, also, it's because it stands out. Because everyone else is trying to be nice. But why is everyone trying to be nice? It's because they're trying to stay safe within the herd. That's all. And so people who are, like the people that you actually put on a pedestal, for example, or the people you look up to, most of the time, the reason they don't listen to you is because you're trying to be polite and nice. I'm not telling you to be mean or rude or anything. I'm saying that if you're somebody speaking truthfully and from your heart, unapologetic, you're not worried about, what they think of you. You're just gonna tell them how you feel. Obviously, it's cordial, you have respect, but you're just speaking however you would speak normally to anyone else. You're gonna notice that you'll gain more respect. But a lot of people, like how many of you in here, you feel like you're putting on this mask when you're talking to certain people? Who experienced that?
Yeah.
Like at first, those of you who go out, like you're putting on this little mask, like, oh, I'm in street mode right now. I'm going out. I'm in game mode. This is me, but that's not really how you act all the time. Now, so you're gonna start realizing that a lot of this has to do with becoming more congruent and learning how to become more liberated and just free and unapologetic. That version of yourself that you already were as a child. And so that's what we're getting to. And I love that she brought up your story. I love that she shared everything with everyone. Give him a round of applause. And when you talk with Owen, he'll go a little bit deeper on an angle that you can use moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great work, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right. So I know a few people have to leave real fast. I'm gonna try my best to, speed it up a little bit, but understand it just because we've gone.